Why is it that your child eats well all day and then dinner rolls around and suddenly they're surviving on 3 noodles and a sip of milk? Let's talk about why dinner is the hardest meal of the day for kids and what's actually going on. I'm Alex Turnbull, pediatric dietitian and mom of 2, and welcome to the Good Eaters Club, where we're on a mission to redefine what it means to be a good eater. And no, you don't have to eat all your dinner to be a good eater. First, this is not a parenting failure. This is timing and biology. By dinner, kids are often tired, overstimulated, done making decisions, and just kind of maxed out for the day. Kind of like us adults too. Think about everything their little bodies have done. School or daycare, transitions, social interactions, learning, and maybe even after-school activities. Dinner is when everything catches up, and when kids are tired, eating is not usually their top priority, nor are they always the best version of themselves. Here's a big reason why dinner is the worst meal of the day for kids. They just might not be very hungry. Many kids will eat well at breakfast, lunch, and snacks. Not only because they're not as tired or overstimulated then, but oftentimes they're with their peers at school or daycare, which can help a lot. But maybe they just had a snack or a bunch of milk, or maybe they're grazing throughout the day and coming to dinner already partially full. This is easy to do, and I've let it happen with my kids too. We don't want kids showing up starving, but we don't want them showing up full either. Another reason why dinner is tough is because kids' appetites don't stay the same all day. As I said, a lot of kids eat better earlier in the day when they're more regulated and alert. And then by dinner, appetite naturally dips. So when parents say they eat great at breakfast and lunch, but nothing at dinner, that actually makes a lot of sense. Dinner's also the meal that tends to carry the most pressure, especially from us adults, because it's usually the biggest meal of the day for us. It's also when the whole family's together. There's an expectation to sit, maybe try some new foods, eat their vegetables, and have a full meal. And kids feel that, even if we're not saying it out loud. One shift that can make dinner much easier is how we think about dinner. Instead of expecting it to be this big, perfect, well-rounded meal, sometimes it's helpful to think of dinner as more of a snack. And I don't mean handing them a bunch of their favorite packaged snacks either. Instead, think of it as a mini meal. I mean smaller portions, lower pressure, still offering a couple food groups. And by the way, I'm not talking about offering something separate or different from what everyone else is eating. I want them to eat the same thing, but maybe just fewer portions and not having to eat everything either. And you're still sitting down together if you can. Because for a lot of kids, small mini meal is what their body is ready for at that time of day. So instead of trying to make dinner this perfect meal, instead think of it as just one opportunity to eat. Zoom out on the whole day. Look at what your child eats across the whole day, or I'd say whole week, not just at one meal. Include a preferred food, something they'll actually eat. Give them something to rely on, even if they don't eat anything else. This oftentimes ends up being milk, fruit, or bread. Keep it low pressure. They don't have to eat everything to be a good eater. Adjust the timing if needed. If dinner is a struggle every night, you can experiment with snack timing or maybe a little bit earlier dinner, if that's possible for your family. Think mini meal, not a masterpiece. If dinner ends up looking more like a simple combo, like fruit, bread, and cheese, that still counts. Okay, so if dinner feels like the hardest meal in your house, you're not alone. Your child is not broken, they're tired, overstimulated, their appetite has shifted, their day caught up with them. And being a good eater doesn't mean eating the perfect dinner every night. Sometimes it just means showing up, offering food, spending time together, and trusting that it all adds up. If this helped take some pressure off of dinner time, make sure you subscribe below so you never miss an episode of the Good Eaters Club.